Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Sunday night frequency meditation. My name is Rob, and this is Space Time with Rob. Beautiful. We're in the first Sunday of July, so like the seasons, the summer season is the full expression of the movement. Spring is the birth, summer is the full expression, fall is decay, and then winter is the death space. And we also follow those programs, that system. Like anything that comes from the ethers, there's always a ripple effect into this physicality. So once you start being able to observe patterns, then you can pretty well start observing your own pattern, and then you can see the trajectory you're on. And if you don't like that trajectory, you can change it. That's the power we are. Because although we are in this physical being, we are an extension of the non-physical, which is our timeless self. So let's start just to get into that. And now that we are in this full expression, let's take this opportunity to find out during the meditation what comes up, what awareness that will come up that shows that you're not being able to be this full expression of your essence. And when this happens and you start to get that aha moment and you see that, oh, I have these programs that do not serve me anymore, it's really as easy as walking away from it. I know for those who have challenges, who have tried it before, that it doesn't seem like that. But when you start to work on this and you start to do the following of what space-time is all about, the work I do, is that you'll see there's a system. And then once you tap into that system and you tune into it, walking away from the old version of you is very simple and actually very easy. So more will be disclosed, and if you want to have more information, you can always go to my Instagram, Spacetime with Rob, and that will take you on to all the other links, all the other resources you need, so you can start to also understand patterns and how we create ourselves here, which is based just on patterns, past patterns. So with that, let's kick back, let's enjoy this evening, and let's see what comes up. So as we're settling into our body, being here right now, just taking a second just to observe how you are sitting, standing, lying down, or are you walking? Are you gardening? We can do these meditations in all different ways. It's not just that classic sitting position, your legs folded. It can be anything that resonates with you, that brings you into that space. So let's take a deep breath in right now and tuning into these frequencies from the core of the earth. I work with nature. They're the purest frequencies that at least I have access to in this density. They're more than suffice for our needs. Nature is perfectly still, perfectly present, and nature also is very well defined. Unlike us humans, it knows exactly what it is, but it knows exactly what it's not. A tree is a tree. A tree is not pretending to be a rock. A tree is not wanting to be a rock. And a tree is also not comparing itself to other trees. It's very solid in its definition. So let's bring that in. And so as we take that deep breath in, let's use these frequencies from the core of the earth. Gravity has played its role. It's filtered out anything that's not pure. So in the core of the earth, there's only these pure, clean frequencies, very well defined. And as we take a deep breath in from the core of the earth, and going up, right up through your body, and you being here right now. For those who have been with me and understand the pedestal and the base, that. For those who are not aware of that, you could always go to my Instagram, Spacetime with Rob, see anything, all the other different links to resources, many complimentary meditations on there as well. So as we take that deep breath in from the core of the earth, going right up through our body or the base, and just coming here right now, tuning in. As you do that, you come in your position. It helps me help you. As I generate these frequencies from nature, we can all do this, by the way. There is a caveat. You have to clear your stuff to have access to it. That's the big caveat. Taking another breath in and coming into your lower spine. Just noting your lower spine with the mind's eye, walking around that spine, noticing the details, the shape of the vertebrae, the space in between the vertebrae. It's just helping you come here, back into your body. Taking another breath in. And on these meditations, it's not so much what I say, although we do love information, especially if it's about ourselves. It's more of the frequencies that I'm generating and how together we are coming more into this present moment like nature. Defining ourselves better with more precision on who we are and who we're not. Most people have many personas, many hats they put on, depending on what role they're playing during the day. That takes a lot of energy. An extremity of that is schizophrenia, and we know that's not healthy. So even in a smaller dose, it's the same component, so let's start coming into one persona, that true self of who you are. We can do that, again, just like a tree, knowing what it is. Although we might be a partner, an employee, or an employer, a father, a daughter, a friend, a lover, all those different roles. But it can all come from one place, that one essence of who you are in physical form here. The reason why we play these different roles is we're not defined ourselves because we keep going into other people's realities or letting other realities push into us. So there's this fusion as we take a deep breath in. But as we want to, especially in this season, be a full expression of our essence, well, what expression are you going to be if you're playing all these different personas, these different roles? But you're not truly who we are. Just noting that lower spine again. And asking our timeless self, how can we be more centered? And what distortions do I need to release so I can be my true, authentic self here in this present moment? for those who have shortages of energy. Again, taking another deep breath in. Is exhausting. Portraying so many different roles. It takes a lot of energy. It's not natural, so we have to have that propulsion instead of it coming from our timeless self naturally. And also, it's usually coupled in my observations with never being in the present moment. And being in the future moment, again, is exhausting. It takes a lot of energy. Another deep breath in from the core of the earth, copying these frequencies that are perfectly in the present moment, perfectly well defined. Why we feel so good in nature. It's not because of the landscape or the exercise we're getting or the fresh air. They help. But why we feel so good and why we connect, everybody wants to connect to nature. It's that nectar of our experience. Why we feel so good is because nature is perfectly present, it is perfectly well defined, and it demands you become more present and defined. It pulls you in. And I can tell you from my own experience, and I've tried a lot of things out there. I've liked to escape reality quite a bit over the years. Nothing is more euphoric than being in your present body in one persona. Not only is it euphoric, and there's a reason why it's euphoric, because that is where your timeless self is, so that's when you truly merge with your timeless self. Taking a breath in just right now, bringing you all back as one. Not only is it euphoric there from a sensational point of view, but it's also, this is where we have access to everything else out there. Everything is in real time with our timeless self. Many of you want to have your abilities come forward, be inspired, have downloads, whatever it is. That always happens in real time, the present time, and when we're in our body. Taking another deep breath in. So again, we ask our timeless self, how can I be more centered? And what programs do I need to release? So in other words, I need the awareness so I can be singular. And we let our timeless self bring this knowledge to you. It may not happen right now. It may happen later on when you're in a grocery store. It may happen tonight while you're sleeping. It may happen tomorrow. But it will happen if you ask. It's quite amazing how so many people don't ask their timeless self for anything, really. Another breath in. So this body that we're in, it's not that it's a vessel, that it's separate from our timeless self, our spirit, our higher self, universe, whatever you want to call it. It's not separate. It's just in a different form. It's in density. But it is our timeless self in a different form. It's not that we have the body and then over there is our timeless self. What I've been working on lately, this is what I do. I do little projects with myself, my counsel, is bringing in that awareness of this separation that we all have from being in this time-bound self. And then our non-physical, timeless self. That connection. That true connection. That fusion. Instead of what is out there, the narrative, which generally the narrative in the spiritual sector, if you like, is that spirit, God, timeless self, whatever, is outside of us. It's almost like a third party, separate from us. And in some religions, it's, we have to beg like a slave just to hope a crumb of mercy might come our way. I don't get that. I've never got that. I've always had the understanding, as we take a breath in, that I'm it. I am part of the whole. It's quite an amazing feat, if you think about it, that we were able to create ourselves here separate from the whole, but still being part of the whole, but completely autonomous. Like the drop in the ocean. So what I'm working on is a little bit better definition of the timeless and time-bound and that fusion. And it comes as we take another breath in. It's very hard to fix something if we don't know it's broken. So that's why we can ask for the awareness. And just coming to your right shoulder, noticing that right shoulder, noticing the left shoulder, and let's draw a line between the right and the left shoulder, and then from each point to the shoulders, draw 2 lines to the crown of your head, and then again from the shoulder to shoulder line, draw 2 lines down to the groin, so you've formed a triangle, and then below that an inverted triangle, and if you join the two, it's a perfect diamond centered in your body. And then you, in the middle of this diamond, in the middle of your body, completely centered. And noticing where you stop, where your body stops, the outer layer of your skin. There's a very distinct stoppage there. You can call that your inner environment, your body. And then anything outside of that is where your outer environment starts. But actually our inner environment goes past our body. It's arm's length around us, above us. It's a sphere. And everything within that arm's length, and by the way, this is dynamic, nothing set, nothing static. We can always expand this inner environment or decrease it. And that we'll get to in maybe another Sunday. But for now, just visualize this inner environment of yours coming from the center of your diamond, which is in the center of your body. And then where your body stops, arm's length around you, is your inner environment. And everything there in that space is your domain. It's the source that creates us in this physical form. So we're just presenting this right now, and we will build on it. But for now, we can ask, what have I let in this inner environment that does not serve me? Whatever I do here is not a conclusion. I'm opening up the conversation with you and your timeless self, really. And it's for you in your own time to develop that narrative, to get those aha moments, to be given the guidance from your timeless self directly on what is the next step to take, what is the program or filter you wish to release. And then also from this physical life, what is the next step to take to achieve what your heart desires? There is lots and lots of support and guidance for all of you. Taking another deep breath in. And helping us come back here, and you can do this throughout the day. Practice, 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 as I've said before. On the other side, one thing I can say for sure is there's no judgment, none, zero, which means nobody's special and nobody gets left behind. We demanded free will, so it's for us to use our free will to practice. It's our way of acknowledging to our timeless self that yes, I do want a clear connection that I can be aware of. We're always connected, but we like to have the awareness. So just opening up this conversation. And as we listen to any sounds around us, noticing where those sounds are and then noticing where you are. The smells in the air, where the smell's coming from, and then where are you in your body? The taste in your mouth, this is an internal referencing. It signals to the body what needs to be released to have optimal health. And we can see if we're not too tuned in to our timeless self, that message will not be very efficient, so we'll have no health. Noticing what you're sitting, standing, or lying down on right now, what's touching your skin, and then where are you? What's been supporting you through this whole call? And then opening eyes, looking at an object that does not have our memory or experience. It's completely neutral. Noticing where that object is, and then noticing where you are. This is called spatial referencing. It's using the 5 physical senses to navigate us back here in our body right now. This is the principal reasons for our senses. Yes, there's the added bonus that we get to enjoy chocolate, feel different things, experience things through the five senses. But really, if you like, the mechanics of it is there for us. So it keeps us centered as our GPS to help us know where we are located in space and time. That's a bit too technical for you, no problems, it will come the more you do these studies. And feeling refreshed and happy, curious, optimistic. I hope you have a beautiful day, the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you next week.